Can I steal you for a minute?
Steal you for a minute?
Can I steal you for a minute?
Welcome to Can I Steal You for a Minute, the reality dating recap podcast. My name is Indra Raj.
And I'm Mary Bianco.
And we're back.
We're back.
And this is our first full recap of Love is Blind Ohio. Could not have dropped at a worse time.
No, honestly, if it could have waited a week, that would have been perfect. But here we are.
Yeah, here we are. So we're doing a full season recap because I actually finished the season last night. Like, it's taken me this long to do it. And
it's going to be so fresh
for
you.
Like, every time I turned it on, I would immediately fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like, it was not holding my attention enough. So, but I did get through it. And then I was like, oh, we can go right into the reunion. And then I was like, oh, no, it's not out yet. So,
yeah, it's live
the
tomorrow.
Will be out when you're listening to this.
Yeah, it's live. Not that this matters. I'll be memeing live. Not that anyone listening to this will know that, but you'll see us on there.
No, I finally got to go through all the memes, and they were all so good. It got me pumped for today's conversation. There's a lot to talk about, and so we're not going to obviously be able to do as like a fully detailed recap as we might if we were going chunk by chunk. So we're just going to go couple by couple and see where it takes us. Stay tuned if you have started watching or not the new HGTV show Bachelor Mansion Takeover, which is my new favorite show.
Obsessed. It's just a moment of levity that we all need right now.
I mean, it's truly like I put it on last night and Patrick was like, oh my gosh, these are like your two favorite things combined. And I was 100%. Like, it really is.
I also we've been hearing for years rumblings that the mansion is a shit show. And I just think it's hilarious that they're like, yeah, no, it's horrible in here.
Yeah, like it's actually really bad. And you get to see it in like bare bones style, which is pretty fun if you've been a fan of the show for a while. And we'll get into the cast and everything. So
yeah,
that's going to come later. But first, we got to talk Love is Blind Ohio, which... It's the season is over, so we've seen it all. We're waiting for the reunion. I can't wait to see where we're at with a lot of these couples, but or non-couples or whatever they are. I felt like there were a lot of couples who sort of ended things ambiguously almost.
Yeah, I think there's potential for a few to be dating.
Right.
And I did hear a rumor about one of the couples, and I don't know if you want me to share it or not. About relationship status of one of them, because we're also going to watch the reunion tomorrow, so you'll find out then, I think.
I want to know.
Okay,
well,
so
yeah, go.
Spoiler alert up top, but I guess the reunion will be out by then. Jordan and Amber have gotten a divorce already, apparently. That's the rumor going around, that they divorced after 3 months. And I understand. They both seemed deeply surprised that the other person said yes.
It was definitely a game time decision for Jordan. And like, I do think he genuinely was like, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm in. I think he's very good at like living in the moment, maybe a little too much.
Yeah, I think... we can talk about them because there isn't really any love triangle with them. They just kind of were like all for each other from the beginning.
Right.
I just think again, and like single parents, I respect you. I can't imagine what that's like. I just don't think Love is Blind is the venue for you guys because you're marrying someone that met your child once. And like someone commented on our page that her daughter Emma seemed like a brat because she mouthed no during the ceremony. It's like... This is really scary for her. She's 8 years old. She's been one-on-one with her mom her entire life. Yes. And now she's just supposed to accept this dude? Like, come on.
You know what really, and to give Jordan some credit, like, what a difficult situation to be on an altar in front of this woman's daughter.
Yeah.
And you're about to say no and embarrass her.
You can't.
Like, you can't do that. Like, I was thinking that as like she was walking down the aisle. I was like, oh my God, he can't say no. Like,
no, he would have had to call it before.
That's like, kids should not be allowed at these ceremonies.
No.
Because there is a chance that they will say no. And like, it's almost irresponsible on
100%.
everyone's part, like production too, to have these kids involved in the show. And I, like this season filmed about a year ago, and like Denver was also about a year ago. So I'm hoping production for Love is Blind has learned some lessons from these
Yeah.
two seasons, that both situations where a child was involved have not ended well, maybe because of that reason. And, I hope that these children aren't like affected too much by it in the long term.
I know. I completely agree. Like, I just think she's 8. Like, she's making memories. She's gonna remember what happened here. I'm sorry. um, she's gonna remember what happened, and it's gonna be a little bit traumatizing. Like, she had TV cameras in her face.
Yes.
Everyone is like panning to her to see her reaction. You okay? You gas?
Yeah.
And
it's like,
yeah.
I think there's this whole like, oh, well, anyone should be able to be on a dating show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, but at what point is it like on
Sorry.
the parent to make that decision? And Jordan from Denver and Amber from this season, I don't really like fault them per se.
No.
I think they got involved in something without maybe fully thinking it through, which is like unfortunately part of these like experimental dating shows. It's like you almost don't know what it's going to be like. Oh, Eden.
Sorry, she's having a moment.
Okay.
She's
Eden's
just
taking a
she's
moment.
just imagining if I got married on one of these shows.
Oh yeah. No, I did see an article somewhere that was like, maybe it's time to end the experiment.
I think I agree. Like, there were so many things that happened this season that just like lead me to be like, maybe it's done. And I think like I saw a girl on TikTok, and I always do this. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. She said, guys, this is just what dating is like. People meet and they lie about their entire personality. Like,
Right.
they meet and they just pretend to be a different person. Like, that's what they do.
Right.
And so I was talking to my friend Courtney, who's dating. And she's like, yeah, sometimes you meet someone who's really great and like matches your standards, and other times you meet someone who's like just extremely weird. And like that's just the way that it goes.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. It's I don't know that it's time to throw in the towel just yet, but some edits need to be made. And we'll see how it goes.
That
Our
being
girl
said,
Chelsea, I noticed, is in the audience at the reunions, which means they haven't fired her from casting yet, which is a big mistake on Love is Blind's part.
I just never got why it was her to begin with. Like, were her and
know,
Kwame
like-
even that popular of a couple?
Well, it's not even that. It's like, theoretically, I don't know what is looked for in a casting director, but I'm assuming it's someone who can like really see people and read them well, and kind of, think about where they are psychologically and lots of things. Like, I don't think Chelsea is that person.
No,
I don't.
I don't think so either. And I think that showed by like, never forget her childhood dream was to do a lingerie shoot in Calvin Klein's with her fiance. And I think that just represents a level of unhinged.
Yeah. Her and Kwame are still together, right?
They're still together, and I got to give it to them for that.
Yeah.
They're doing something.
There's no reason they still need to be together for any sort of PR anything. So that means they really want to be with each other.
Yeah. I know I said that single parents shouldn't go on these shows. I do hope we see Amber on Perfect Match. She was a one-liner queen this season. Like, he's too fucking short to be this cocky. I have general disdain for men.
Yes.
What else did she say?
It does make me sad to hear that they didn't last, because in an ideal world they are like a very cute match in a lot of ways, and I, in my heart of hearts, I hope that at the reunion, if they talk about it, that it's like an amicable split. Like, I really hope there's not a lot of like bad feelings between them.
Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't going to work when he wouldn't leave Columbus, Ohio for her. Like he was like, oh, the nightlife in Columbus is something I can't be away from, and was gonna let her daughter commute an hour each way to school. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe he's not all in this, and maybe Amber, you shouldn't agree to
Right.
this. Like,
Right. That is a very good point. But yeah, no love triangles with them, no
no,
other anything with them. They were just kind of in from the beginning. When they first went on their like honeymoon thing, I was wondering if Amber was like not going to be into Jordan
yeah,
physically. And just seeing the way she like cuddled with him and stuff, it was really sweet. Like
yeah.
those types of like they did have a genuine connection, and again it's like I hope that they can acknowledge that even though they're not together anymore, hopefully it was just like logistically this is not going to work, and we
Yeah.
need to part ways type of thing.
I hope so, but I have a feeling, there's a clip in the reunion of Amber storming off, and I have a feeling that it gets at
Oh,
least a little bit fiery about that. Or like, we saw how hard she went to bat for her friends. It could be, on
right,
behalf of one of them.
right.
She's storming away, but oh, my other favorite line by her was mental fuck a chicken sandwich. And I think that should be the new name of our podcast.
That it really should, if it could be, I mean, yes. Agreed,
Yeah.
we're changing the name.
They're changing the name to Men Will Fuck a Chicken Sandwich. Because they will.
Yeah, she is very, and she's very like deadpan with her delivery,
Yeah.
which it just works. Like I don't even know if she's trying to be funny. I think she just is.
I think that's just her. Like her whole
Yeah.
look, like the big poof at the wedding, the like stretchy, sparkly dresses. I'm like, listen, this girl has a look. She's been sticking
Yes.
to it for at least a decade. Like that's
Literally.
just her.
I don't think I ever saw her not in a mini skirt.
No, not in a miniskirt and never without a full beat. And the hair
Yep.
just like teased to the heavens. Never without
Yes.
any of that.
Yes. Which, like, I have to say, normally I would have judged someone who looked like that and been like, I don't think that me and that person would be friends. And I take it all back. I think
Yeah.
I would really enjoy a friendship with Amber.
I would love
Um,
it. The way she posed went behind the like privacy screen when they opened the doors for the reveal, and her pose was like hand on the hip on the side. I was like, oh, a literal star is born. This is incredible.
Literally. Okay, so maybe we pivot to one of the couples that didn't last, which we already talked a little bit about, which was Chris and what's her name? The doctor?
Jessica.
Jessica. Yes. The levels. So I think I said on our last episode that I left off at the time when he told her basically your body isn't good enough for me. I'm not sexually attracted to you.
Hmm.
And then then after that was the bar night.
Yeah. Yeah.
For someone who is so measured and seemingly careful and like, I live my life in this controlled way and like, this is the way you do it. And if you do these things, you get these results. He's that type of guy.
Yeah.
The way he just totally got so drunk and ran his mouth that night was like, it has got to be painful for him watching that back.
That was an iconic crash out, to be honest. Like it was just he fell apart on everything. And I think like because Jessica has said like human rights are very important to her, she's very political. She's gone on interviews since because people at one point he says, apparently I'm Andrew Tate. And like for those who don't know who Andrew Tate is, he's like the OG red pill male rights podcaster, like literally has charges for human trafficking against him and cannot return to the United States. Like that's how disgusting he is.
Yeah.
And so he comparing himself to him, like Jessica, was like, I did ask, who did you vote for? Obviously they're not going to show that because this show is very pro MAGA. Like there's no way around it. Like this is a conservative show, like just based on what we've seen and who they chose to focus on this season. And Jessica's like, he basically lied.
So he said I voted for who
He basically,
Kamala Harris. I'm like,
yeah, who was it? Because
So
it feels like a million years ago. Yeah, he said that he agreed with her politically, and that just clearly is not the case.
Wow. So what's kind of upsetting about that, and maybe she addressed this, is like she was still all in, presumably after realizing that he was actually MAGA.
Don't know, because I think that was around when it fell apart.
Oh, okay.
I think
I mean,
that's
did
when
she
she found
say
out.
what she was feeling about the relationship at the moment that he shut things down on those terrible,
I
for
didn't.
those
So
reasons?
I didn't watch the full podcast. I just watched the clip where she talked about like being confronted about politics, because I think that
Right.
was people's question was like, if this is something that's so important to you, how do you not ask?
Right.
And so I don't know how she felt about it. I think I got the sense that it was also falling apart for her too. Like I think that they had both kind of fallen out of love with each other, if they ever really were like in love, in
Yeah.
love. So
Well,
I don't
and
know.
that's the thing is like it was so funny because like they were supposedly one of the strongest couples from the beginning. Like you hear all the other couples talking about like I just knew Chris and Jess were going to make it. Like
Mhm.
they're so in love, blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't see it. Like I haven't seen these two really dig deep on anything. I think they're really good at like saying they love each other, and there's not a lot of substance there. And
Yeah.
that's kind of ultimately I think what ended up breaking things for them.
I think it's like a classic love bomb where he's just like, you're so great, you're so amazing, you're so beautiful, you're
Right.
everything I want. And then you just like break it. You're just like, I'm actually done with this.
Right. And so he was love triangled a little bit with Bree,
Yeah. That was,
which and I was trying to remember because Bree ends up with Connor, and
yep.
Connor was also love triangling with Emma a little bit.
Hmm.
But Bree was Connor always her number one, or was like no, Chris was also up there for her.
Yeah. Her top two were Chris and Connor. Um,
Yeah.
and so Chris, when he's falling, and Bree ends up with Connor. Connor's like probably the best, except for Vic, obviously. One of the best guys on the season. Like he seems super nice. He's like very
Yes.
realistic about who he is. Chris comes up and is like, "You need someone dominant. Like this guy's a beta." And
Oh
basically, he
my
said, and Chris tried to say the only reason Connor said you were his number one is because I told him that
right.
Lauren was my number one.
Right.
And I appreciated Brie in that moment because she just like didn't believe Chris. Like
Yeah.
she asked Connor about it, but was like, it's obviously not true.
Yeah, they were editing that conversation that they had by the bar to make it look like she was taking him seriously at times.
Yeah.
But I think in reality, she was so disgusted by like what he had done and said to Jess that he was like, "I'm done."
Yeah. I'm
Wait, is
done.
it Jess or Lauren? Now I'm confused. What's her name?
Her name's Jess. Who's Lauren? Did I say Lauren?
You said Lauren. I was like, "Who the fuck is Lauren?"
Okay, she looks like a Lauren.
She looks like a Lauren. What? She looks like a Lauren. I am truly like I'm telling you, my watching of this show has been so disjointed, and I've fallen asleep so many times that like the names are still not locked in for me. Like I am going off of vibes when I look at these
Yeah.
people. I'm like, oh yes, that's who
Yeah.
they are.
The names also like aren't special. Like they're all very like
Yeah.
normal Ohio names that like they're not anything that really stands out that much.
It's funny because it's like she's Jess, but she looks like a Lauren.
Yeah.
And then the blonde woman who is with Alex,
Yeah.
she looks like a Jess to me.
Yeah, I couldn't remember that her name was Ashley for the life of me. I was like, is this Jamie? I'm like, I don't know. Like none of their names like really fit them for me.
No. So yeah, okay. Ashley and Alex. I was like, I know it starts with an A, but it's not Amber.
No, Amber stuck. Amber, I was like,
Yeah.
I know who this is. Everyone keeps calling Jordan Justin in our comments. Multiple separate people have been like,
Really?
I don't think Justin and Amber are going to stick. And I was like, his name is Jordan. Like, everyone
Yeah, that's
keeps-
really weird. That's very weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, Chris is just like the worst example of a man walking in and saying like, I don't know, he's so fake
Yeah.
and he's so controlling and
Yeah.
he's so terrible. Like he's just the worst person ever. And
Yeah.
I like in that bar night, he just kept putting his foot in his mouth over and
would
over
not
and over
stop.
again.
He could not
He
stop.
couldn't
Like,
stop.
he is disgusting. Like he's
Yeah.
he's gross. He's not attractive. Like, and for him to say to somebody like, everyone can have their preference, whatever. You have to stick with that. And don't go on a show called Love is Blind. If you have
Yeah.
such a preference about what someone looks like, you cannot
Right.
go on this show because you're going to look like an asshole. And he doesn't just look like an asshole, he actually is one. Like,
Yes.
his reasons were so superficial, and he doesn't bring anything to the table. Like, he's
No,
telling, oh, go ahead.
well, he wasn't even smart enough to like let her down easy,
No,
Like, what
he
in your
launched
right
into
mind
it.
makes you think you should tell her that you're not attracted to her body and she doesn't take care of her body well enough and that's why you should break? Like, what? Are you dumb? Like, how many other ways could you have said this isn't working for me? You could have said like, I don't feel that we're connecting physically. That could mean so many things, including what you ended up saying, and would have been a lot less hurtful to this person who you have agreed to marry.
And have had sex with. Like, that feels
Right.
gross to have slept with somebody and then they say to you like, "Oh, by the way, I never really like was that into it because you're not my type." Like,
Right.
that's the part that like really stings, is this feeling that like you've been intimate with this person and then wondering if the whole time they're like, I don't know about this." His tip off was seeing Brie.
Right.
And Brie is obviously very fit, but her and Jessica's bodies are not that different.
I
But
know. I
Brie is
don't.
blonde. And
Oh, you
so
think it's that?
Pilates is basically like a red herring for I want a skinny white blonde girl. Like, if people are
Okay.
like that obsessed with Pilates, and I do Pilates, I like it, and that's obviously not my MO. But like it it is that kind of like veiled hint at
E-
this is what I want.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, do yourself a favor, men everywhere. If that's what you like, don't say it out loud ever. Just don't.
Don't.
Like, the only thing I can think of that was more kind of maybe on par with that and worse in some ways was our favorite boy, Shake,
Oh
who
God.
was asking women in the pods if he would be able to put them on his shoulders at a music festival.
Yeah. That
It's
that is
just
very
like,
similar.
it's very similar. And it's just like, don't. Like, just don't, Like, don't even come on a show like this because it is going to come up. If you are that obsessed with that aspect of someone's physical self, love is not blind for you.
No. No, and you're not ready to like get to that level. You are not capable of being deeper because you yourself are a very vapid person. And like,
Right.
you obviously don't have the self-awareness to know that before not going on a show like this. And
Yeah. It made me wonder about Jess too. Just like, why did you accept this person so wholeheartedly? It also made me wonder about Bree. And I'm
yeah.
actually very glad that Bree and Connor decided to call things off before the wedding because I agree. I think Connor is a good person.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't think Bree is a good person, but I think she's caught up in some like toxic ways of being
Yeah.
that are more in line with someone like Chris, and potentially like Jess liked those things too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, these people are not for me. You know who I appreciate? Connor, who's just like a nice fucking dude who's not trying to be anything he's not
No.
and is just trying to show up for this woman and love her. Like, how
Yeah.
nice.
That's so nice. The only credit I'll give Jess is it seems like Chris in the honeymoon was like a totally different person than the Chris we saw in the apartments. Like, I think that
True.
he could only keep up the act for so long, but he ultimately was a piece of shit the whole time, but just lied because he heard that she was a doctor and she owned a home and like
Right.
just was like, I'm just gonna ride this out.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just knew it was going to boil down to what it boiled down to the
Yeah.
minute they get to the honeymoon suite and he starts talking about working out in the morning and she's like, "Oh, I don't do that." And he's like, "Yeah, but if you just get a couple miles in then it starts to be easier." And she's like, "No, I don't do that." And it was like, this is going to be an issue later. And then lo and behold,
It was.
It was like the signs were there earlier is all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
It's also hilarious to me when someone with a desk job tells a doctor who's on their feet all day that they need to be
Yeah.
more active in their day. Like the working out is not the only way to get your steps in or get fit. Like she is on her feet all day. If she wants to
Right.
rest in her downtime, let her rest. Like she doesn't need to also work out. Like she's okay. And you know who knows how to keep a healthy body better than you, dude? A fucking doctor. Like, let her live.
Right.
Like,
Right.
just let her
Well,
live.
it's just like it is so like this is clearly so important to you, and she was very clear that that's not a part of her life, and she's 38 and she's not going to change that.
Yeah.
So like I just think like Chris thinks that he can control everyone around him.
Yeah.
And like he gets off on that. And like the way he was talking to Bree at the bar, like you need a dominant, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
I could take you to the
this
Four
man
Seasons.
is the problem with America right now, right
Yeah.
here. This
Yeah.
rhetoric, this line of thinking. Unfortunately, I think a lot of men in America not only feel this way, but are actively being encouraged to feel this way in
Yep.
our current state of affairs in this country. And
Yeah.
it's disgusting. And I'm glad that it was actually shown for how ridiculous and embarrassing it was hearing someone talk that way to a woman.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, I hope
that
there aren't viewers out there who saw that and were like nodding their heads like, yes, yeah, go, Chris.
there were. There were
That's
people on our
disgusting.
comments being like, oh, yeah, because the women were such prizes this season. It's like,
Oh my God.
you're missing the point. Like, I
No.
just. Dating in 2026 seems like it's hell because a guy who looks like that just thinks that, you know, without trying, he can get the whole fucking world. And it's like, okay, you either have to be really, really good looking or you have to have a personality, and you're neither. So like maybe just slow your roll a little bit.
Right. I hope he's not dating anyone. I don't know. He probably is. Who knows?
No, he's like
anyway.
sweaty with long hair at the reunion. So that doesn't seem like
Ugh.
I have a girl kind of vibe.
No. Okay, so we touched on Bree and Connor. Bree was an interesting one because there were moments where I really liked things that she said. And then there were moments where I was like, what is going on here? Like,
Yeah.
you seem unwell and unhinged and not okay.
She just kept saying to Connor, like, you're not meeting my best me. Why are you going on a show to get married in a month? If you're like so
Right.
sure that you're not like, you know,
And what's going on? Like,
what is it? Yeah.
was she busy at work? Like,
I don't know.
what was it? Was there were a few things like that this season. Like they referenced things going on that I was like, what are they talking about? Like, did I miss something? And then I was like, maybe I did miss something.
It's
But I
possible.
checked with Patrick and he was like, no, they never talked about that.
No, there was just like missing bits. And then like, you know, Brie was kind of like talking out of both sides of her mouth. Like when she was at the honeymoon, I liked what she said where she was like, it's weird that we had these very deep emotional connections with
Right.
people and then we show up the next day and we pretend that it didn't happen. Like now we're having like, you know, I bared my soul to this person, Chris, and you know, ultimately she should have just kept it. But like,
Right.
and now we see him at this, you know, honeymoon and we just make small talk about the weather. And she's like, and I think you should talk to Emma because like you guys had such a deep connection. And then now you're like, you won't even chat with her. Where she lost me is she was like, and I could go again for another conversation and I could go again. It's like, just drop it.
I know that was where I was like, there's something not computing in her brain about like reading the room. Like,
Yeah.
this is not something you say to someone you are literally on your like honeymoon effectively with
Yeah.
after you've gotten engaged. Like, you have to remember that while, yes, it's normal to want to like connect with these people who you've been talking to so seriously, that you did make a commitment to Connor and
Yeah.
that he is your first priority. And
Yeah.
you should not be thinking about going on dates with this other guy. I actually like wouldn't have faulted Connor for being like, I'm out at that point.
Yeah. That's when, you know, clearly loved her so much. And when
Yes.
when they would talk about their connection, he would say like, "I love how driven you are. I love how family oriented you are." She goes, "I love that you love me. Like you
Yeah.
look at me in the morning and you love me. Like I'm like this guy loves me." And he's like, "Yep, yep, yep." And it's just like that's all she could say was how much he loved her. And
Oh,
then, the next day it seemed like she's in the kitchen in a blazer telling him he has no motivation, no pride. And
yeah.
she's basically describing like an equitable relationship that they have where like they go to dinner and he lets her order for herself. And she's like, "Why don't you order for me?" I'm like, "What are you talking
I
about?"
know. I was like, this is some toxic shit.
Yeah.
Like, part of what Chris was saying to you, you do actually agree with,
Yeah. He
which
read
is
you correctly. Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know, when they were like cooking dinner and she was like putting him down left and right about everything he was doing. I mean, she was kind of mean to him, honestly. And I
I
was
think
like,
he
Connor,
liked
you
it
don't
though.
deserve this.
I think he's a person that kind of likes it. Like
Right.
he likes a wife joke where it's like, "Oh God, she's so annoying, but she's my woman." Like he loves that. Like and that's so
But
Midwest
to
of
a
him.
point, like he
Yeah.
was getting annoyed at
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
There people do have thresholds for that type of thing, and I think like he wants a strong woman
Yeah.
and he doesn't mind being told to do to some extent, but I think for anyone it crosses into a territory of like, "Oh, you're not good enough for me." And
Yeah.
ultimately I think if they had gone through with it, he would have said yes, and then he would have been subjected to a life of having someone tell him he's not good enough.
Yeah.
So,
I'm surprised that she didn't go all the way to the altar and then say no. Like I that kind of because I kind of was
yeah.
like she would like the attention of the no at the altar, but I think she ultimately did respect him enough to be like, "I'm just gonna call it now."
Yeah. Actually, I'm not surprised that she did that. I think that's the part of Brie that I like is
Yeah.
that I think she was actually pretty like like maybe overly thoughtful about the
Yeah.
whole process, and that she did I think she was there for the right reasons. Like I do think
Yeah.
she was looking for a real connection and it didn't work out, but and I think that's ultimately why she did end it early, but it was yeah, there were questionable things. And part of it is like for a lot of these people, it brought up a question for me of like, this wasn't a conservative coded season of this show. It was like an overtly conservative season.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the first time that we discussed between Ashley's dad and Alex, who did you vote for? And it
Yeah.
was those words were said and it was very overt where a lot of this cast was at politically. And I was thinking these women in particular, how much of the way that they think is like because of the environment that they've been in,
Mm.
that like it just made me realize the power of being around a certain kind of thought pattern or discourse can be enough for you to think that way too. Like, I guess I have this idealized vision of people being able to think for themselves and be good people and realize this is wrong and we should be treating people with respect. And you can be a good person in the wrong circumstance and end up like a conservative asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
mean
think that's
that
what we saw on this season.
that's what it was overt, and I think like talking about Ashley and Alex, like the person who gets to tell the guy off at the altar is the
Hmm.
blonde Barbie who wasn't his preference. And so
Right.
Alex did a lot of wrong, but in the honeymoons we see that Ashley who's Latina and black is more of his type than Ashley who's blonde hair and blue-eyed. And he
You mean
gets
Brittany? You said Ashley at first, but just
I mean Brittany,
we
but
Amber,
Brittany
Ashley,
looks like an
Brittany,
Ashley.
Jess. These are like,
I
come
know.
on.
And Brittany looks like an Ashley. So
She does. She does.
Brittany is with Devontae,
Yes.
and Alex, who's with Ashley, says that Brittany is more his physical type. And so, one of the things that it's not the lies that catch up to Ashley really, it's that she wasn't his physical preference. And
Yeah.
that's never happened to her before. Even her dad says she's dynamite. Like she is as a white
Oh.
blue-eyed woman, blonde hair, has never not been someone's physical preference. And that's what ultimately really broke down that relationship. It wasn't that he can't keep a timeline of where he lived at what time, what happened to his soccer career. Like, it wasn't that he wants to be in a bunker at a safe house in Dubai in 5 years. It was none of that.
What the fuck, by the way? Like, the levels of like what the hell is happening with Alex is unreal. But yes, this is what you are saying is so important. I don't want to gloss over that because
It's so funny.
she was 100% offended that she was not his physical preference.
Yeah.
And she intimated at the altar that they were not having sex at all, which was not the vibe I was getting.
I think they had sex at the honeymoon and then they got home and he wasn't initiating anything anymore.
Yeah, okay. So he wasn't initiating.
Yeah.
But she was like, I just felt like we were roommates. She just, yeah. I mean, she was very hurt by that. I'm all for like a let's tell off this asshole situation.
He deserved it. Yeah, he
when
totally
it's
deserved
warranted. I don't know. I didn't love how it happened at the altar though. Maybe because of like the entitlement that comes from Ashley's way of being. I was like, I just wish that you two had like had this conversation, maybe not in front of all of these people. Like
Yeah.
it was a little too cringy for me.
Because their final date was like not good. So I just
No.
felt like they should have just broken up there, but she wanted the wedding dress tell off moment. Like she didn't want to break up with him at that time because it just wouldn't have been as powerful of an image than her, you know, looking the best she's ever looked in this wedding dress. Even she's like, you know, perfect guy, perfect dress, perfect venue, wrong guy. Like
Right.
that's her takeaway from the whole thing. And yeah, I don't know.
The final line
Bless
too that she delivered,
Bless
like
you.
saying no to you is a win for me today. For me is a win. It was so like she had been thinking about that line for
Yeah.
days, and then she needed to get in there like stinger right at the end. It felt disjointed from the rest of their conversation and whatever was happening.
Yeah.
I was like, Ashley, like, sorry, girl. I'm glad you said no, but like I don't have more respect for you in this moment.
No, and you know they're gonna give her like a moment at the reunion. Her dad's gonna be there to be like, "I'm so proud of my little girl." That dad is a freak. Like, I
Dude,
think
that dad is
I think-
not okay.
no, I think more dads should be skeptical of the men that are choosing to marry their daughters on this show. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
He's a freak. There's something weird about that man, and not just because he said his daughter's dynamite, and not just because he like was excited that Alex, you know, voted for Trump. He's weird.
Dynamite.
Dynamite. If my dad said I was dynamite, I would have him sent to jail. Like, and I love my dad.
She didn't even bat an eyelash.
No,
She
no.
wanted her dad to tell her she was dynamite, which is really
Exactly.
fucked up.
Eden, you are dynamite, but dad's not allowed to tell you that.
Yeah, but that's a different situation.
Yeah.
You know, Alex like is insufferable in so
Yeah.
many ways.
But just
I
get
have
ready
a
to see
weird
him on
soft
every.
spot for this man. Like I don't. It's not like I don't like him.
No.
I just kind of like feel for the circumstances of his life. Like
Yeah.
I think he has had a hard go of it and
Yeah.
hasn't had support in the ways that he needed, and I still think it's very possible that even if he had had all those things he would still be an asshole. But
Yeah.
I just like he needs a lot of therapy. He needs a lot of
A lot.
love and care from someone who really cares about him, and I just don't think he has that in his life, and his defense mechanisms are constantly up.
Yes.
Constantly.
He can't, like, this cards were definitely stacked against him. Like, it sounds like
Yes.
bad to no relationship with his dad. He didn't know his mom moved to Phoenix. Like, they're clearly not that close, but then, you know, she is enabling of him when she is there. And no one called him on his bullshit about lying when he was young, it seems like. And he
Right.
just keeps doing it. And I saw someone make a TikTok that was like him talking about anything. He's like, I'm not nervous about this at all because I'm a very confident person. I do things confidently. It's like when I was, when you're in the goal, you're in the goal with soccer, you got to block that goal and you got to block the negative energy. Like, I don't believe him that he was that good at soccer because how often he brought it up, it just does not track to me.
And the way he shat on like all of like these famous soccer players and their abilities, it was just like, what are you doing? Like, this is not, you're not in competition with those people.
No. Who cares if you don't think David Beckham's good at playing soccer?
It's like, I think he's just like, I think he feels, you can literally hear it in his voice, see it on his face, see it in his body movements. Like, he is on the defense all the time.
All the time. Well, he's a goalie, so you got to be on the defense. Sorry.
But like, truly, that's what's going on. It's like, his friends come up to him after that pretty brutal thing at the altar to like say, hey man, like, we love you and you're going to find the right person. And he's like, yeah, I know I am. I'm fine. Everything's good. Like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude.
It's like Shake when he's like, come on, guys, it's a party. Keep dancing.
Yeah, it's like, it's so sad to me to see someone in a vulnerable state, like, acting like nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to watch something like that. And so when I say I have a soft spot for him, it's like I see a lot of pain in like the way he is in the world. And I feel bad about that. I also think he's a total dick. And like he said terrible things. And like, he's the type of guy who's just going down conspiracy theory rabbit holes and he's buying gold.
He's like, her dad's asking me the price of crypto in this country. I don't trade in that currency. I'm exclusively in Australia. It's like, what?
Yeah, like, he's so, like, I don't know. The whole exchange between him and her dad at dinner was simultaneously entertaining and the cringiest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And, like, and she was just sitting there.
She was like, oh, my daddy loves me. I did appreciate when she was like, I've had a really easy life. I was like, you know what? No one ever says that. And I appreciate that you said that.
Yeah, it's true. No one ever says that. It like there were glimpses of Ashley. Like she would say something from time to time and I'd be like, again, it comes back to this, my thing about like in a different circumstance, would Ashley be a better person? And like, I think there's some stuff going on with ego that maybe we can't get around with her, but like, I don't know. And maybe that's like an impossible question. You are the circumstances that you are, and that's just
you are who you are. And like,
I'm like, if she wasn't in a conservative place, would she be a little more less insufferable?
Maybe. I have like my parents are both conservative and I am not, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So I have very little tolerance for people who just follow what their parents say at their big old age of 30 and haven't like investigated for themselves, because we're all smart enough and we all have access to our phones all the time. And so if that's something that you're still going with, that's just like what you believe now, like, or you're complacent enough that you don't want to push back against it. Like if people haven't found their way after 3 times and you're wearing a MAGA hat on your Instagram, like, it's just who you are.
Is she doing that?
Not right now, but people found a post that she archived, obviously.
So it's a choice. Yeah. I also think, Mary, that you're smarter than the average person.
Well, thank you.
So, no, I mean, genuinely, I think that there are some people who, like, they're
dumb.
So
some people are dumb.
Like, maybe they're just not smart enough.
I think that
like,
we
think
actually...
for themselves.
I think we actually didn't say that enough, and that's how we're in this situation 3 times. Like, I'm just going to, like... the anti-intellectual movement in this country, like, has led us where we are. So, like, some people are dumb. And some people lack the curiosity to get smarter. Like, I think everybody has the capability to get smarter, and people don't. So, excuse me. So, and if you don't, you're just dumb.
And that was actually an interesting thing. The one thing I took away from the dinner with Dad was Alex is smart. Like, he's not an idiot.
No, he's very emotionally manipulative.
He's very emotionally manipulative, but like he's also like, I think, book smart. Like I think he like has the ability to like do things. Here I am,
He
like
does big things.
my takeaway from that was like Alex is smarter than Ashley.
Yes, and I think that if anything, he's more curious than Ashley, and I think that like part of that
Right.
comes from needing to manipulate your environment, so you need to know as much as possible about your environment. Like, I
Yeah.
think that is like people people who lie and keep up with it are pretty smart. Like,
Yep.
it's like everybody who wins the traders because they can lie and keep track of it. They are pretty smart.
Yeah. Rob Roush.
Alex, I don't think we've seen the last of Alex.
Oh
I
no.
think
I mean, Alex is kind of TV gold. Like
he's TV gold because he's unafraid to lie, and that
right.
makes good TV.
Like he is a liability to himself
Yeah.
and he doesn't really truly understand that and is going to be willing to put himself in front of these things again. He's also very concerned with like traditional forms of success,
Yeah,
meaning like financial success, and I think he can see that being on these shows leads to financial opportunities.
yeah.
So he's definitely not a right reasons type of guy.
No, I mean he's fully homeless, and so he went on the show for housing. I think everybody can pretty much see that. I'm not
Yeah.
sorry. I'm not laughing at homeless people. I'm not. But like
No,
he
no.
so clearly does not have a permanent place to live
No.
by choice, and so like it's like Benaya. Remember him from?
Yes. Yeah.
He also was a nomad, so also
Yeah.
did not have a place to live. And like, I think they both literally applied to the show so they'd have housing for a month. Like, because it's just like,
It's the next thing.
It's the next
like,
thing.
Well, I'm going to go from Austin with this girl to there.
and he could not keep track of that timeline. Like, I lived with my ex. I didn't live with my ex. Like, see you on Perfect Match, buddy. You're going to love it there.
Yeah, no, totally. That was the other thing. It was like, this is clearly never going to work, you guys. Like, Ashley's not leaving Daddy in Ohio. Do you
No.
think she's leaving?
And leaving him in a month? Alex, why does it have to be so soon? He's like, I hope you're ready to quit your job because he doesn't have a place to live and he didn't want her to find out. Like,
Right. Yeah. Like, unfortunately, like, Alex is going to be okay because he's a good looking dude.
yeah, he's a good looking dude, but like maybe he could have like tailored his suit or
Oh my
trimmed
God.
up his beard or taken the crumbs out of his beard before he got married.
I was like, what happened to him? Because he looked so good the rest of the season. And then all of a sudden
He looked so bad.
like a dump. Like this jacket, it made him look so bad. Just that
It
alone.
Did not fit. Like
No. Why didn't someone say something to him?
because he didn't care. He was never gonna say yes. And that was funny that she knew he was gonna say no, and so she was like, I'll go first.
Yeah. She's like, I know it's a no, and so I'm going to say no first.
And so here I go.
And saying no to you today is a win for me.
Bop, 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 bop.
Bop, bop, bop.
I love
Okay.
Trump. No.
Okay, I only have 23 minutes left, and I do want to talk about Bachelor Mansion Takeover. So let's move on to Brittany and Devontae.
Brittany, wake the fuck up. What is wrong with you?
So I was thinking about what you say a lot in these shows, Mary, is like certain characters on these shows, they just want to be married.
Yep.
And Brittany is one of those women. She just wants to be married. I mean, she literally bought the dress before the show.
Yeah. Listen, Devontae sucked, but did he nail it when he said, I think she would have said yes to anybody?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
He got her ass there. Like
That was like probably the most intelligent thing that he said. He was tough, and they were having problems from like 6 hours in.
Day one. I'm going to be mean. You don't get to look like a Ninja Turtle and not tell Brittany that she's pretty. Brittany.
And Brittany, also, you don't need to be told you're pretty left and right. But go ahead.
Or during the breakup to be like, and I know you're just not the guy who's going to tell me I'm pretty. He's not going to tell you you're pretty ever. And you're like, that's okay. You shouldn't need to be told you're pretty all the time. But if you communicate to your partner, I would like to hear that I'm pretty at the beginning of every day.
Yeah.
That is a very easy thing to do. He didn't want to do it.
He didn't
Devontae.
want to do anything. He didn't want to be in the same room with you.
He didn't want to touch her. He didn't want to be in the same room with her. Devontae, you cannot come on this show with a
No.
racial preference. You cannot come
Nope.
on here and say that I have dated white women and her
Yep.
name was Brittany. She sounds white. And Brittany did not disclose her race because you're not supposed to. Brittany said, "Oh, I know I sound white." So Brittany in some way knew that this was Devontae's feeling about it.
Right.
Devontae, and sorry, maybe this is my place as a white person. He's mixed race.
Right.
And he's like, I only date white women. That is like, he needs to evaluate his relationship with himself and his own identity. If
Right.
that's like what a visceral reaction he has to the fact that he was attracted to someone who wasn't white.
Right.
I don't
It's like, no, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of digging deeper that Devontae needs to do. And, this is a thing. I actually, if I'm going to shut this show down for one thing, it is this exact thing. Like, you cannot get to know someone fully if they are not allowed to disclose a very important fact of their identity, which is their race. Like,
Yeah.
as particularly if you're a person of color. I cannot imagine being in a pod and talking with someone about my life without talking about the fact that I'm Indian American. I can't get through one episode of this podcast without talking about the fact that I'm Indian American. So.
I never shut the fuck up about it being Italian. So like, imagine I have to keep but they
Yes.
let people say stuff like that. Like Mike was allowed to tell Emma that he comes from a big Italian family. So you're
Right.
allowed to disclose that you're white, but you
Yes.
can't ever say
The
that you're
double
anything other than white.
standards.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, Emma said she didn't want to talk about what country she was adopted from, but that to me just felt coded in you're not allowed to say that
Yeah.
you're East Asian. Like,
Yeah.
and I would like to know more about Brittany's identity as a mixed race woman.
Yeah.
I really would. I
Yeah.
think it's an important part of people's lived experience.
Yeah. And I
And, like,
loved that family.
Yeah, like taking this out of the equation is not, if you want people to get married, like let them be their full selves. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to keep like finances and things out of it, well, no, they don't even. I mean, Megan last season was talking
Yeah.
about how rich she was the whole time.
Yeah.
So I don't understand, like, why are we taking this one very crucial aspect of someone's identity and not letting them talk about it?
I don't, it's also like in a different but similar way, like not being able to talk about if your weight or anything. Like the body that you
Right.
walk around in is such like a crucial experience. So like, if people are going in there and they are like a curvier woman, that shapes your entire dating experience. And if you can't talk to somebody about that because we're so obsessed with this being entirely blind, like,
Right.
I think we're just admitting that you would be afraid that relationship wouldn't get off the ground because the other person would just be like imagining in their head like
Right.
the ugliest worst case scenario for all of this.
Right.
And so we are like we're saying this is a great process and experiment, and every step of the way we're working against the experiment, like, and
Yeah.
admitting that it doesn't work.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't, it's broken. What if it was really just like, I know all these things about you. Maybe I can even picture you, but I literally have never seen your face. Like, that is still blind to me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I wouldn't be able to draw people just based on their race, their height, their weight. Like, you could tell me
how many people, like a podcast host who you've listened to for 6 months, and then you finally Google them and you're like, whoa, I didn't realize that's what they look
that's what
like.
they look like. I'm not a sketch artist for that fucking FBI. I wouldn't be able to put together what these people look like. If you described to me the exact dimensions of your face, I still wouldn't know. Like,
I know. I think it takes away from people actually being their full selves.
Yeah.
And I really felt that this season. Like, we spent 6 full episodes in the pods.
insane.
And maybe not fully, but most of 6 episodes in the pods, I did not feel, as particularly in this season, like anyone actually really got to know each other. And this includes Vic and Christine, who I think are soulmates.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't show it to us. I don't know.
That's the show's fault. Treatment of Vic and Christine this season is insane.
Wait, why were they in a different location than everyone else?
Netflix said they didn't have the budget to send all of the couples to the honeymoon. So
What the
you
fuck?
you send this couple who clearly like is obsessed with each other just based on the way they talk to Malibu instead of Mexico. Someone raised the point that both of them in the pods talked about the fact that they had been arrested for marijuana possession. And so
Oh.
perhaps they weren't allowed to do international travel at that time. But then
But it wasn't recent enough.
it wasn't recent enough. And like, yeah, Netflix to say they don't have the budget, but like you have the money for Mr. Brightside. Like,
Yeah, I mean, this was a couple that I wanted to actually see. And they did show us some of it, but not enough.
no, the more
And,
I
like-
saw, I agree they are soulmates. Like the more I saw, the more I was just like, oh, this actually does still kind of work for some people. Like,
No, totally, like that conversation they had in the park about like having kids and them being biracial was like, as a parent with biracial children in a biracial relationship, like me and Patrick both felt that it was a good conversation and like actually like reference things that we actively feel as parents in that way.
yeah.
And the fact they were so thoughtful about it, like before they even got into that was really special. And they're just like, they're on the same level. Do you know what I mean?
They are like, I know that they're very Christian, but they're like Buddhist. Like the two of them are so
Yes.
like peaceful and thoughtful, and like we always talk about like I hate when people just throw the Bible around. Those are two people who like actually know it. I think that's what his doctorate is in religion.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I think so. And so they like know it and actually apply it, and it makes them like so peaceful and thoughtful people. Like,
Right.
yeah, that conversation I loved. Like, even the way her mom was talking about it, where she was like, "Well, Vic, I feel like I know you because I know her," and like,
Right.
I was like, "Oh my God, that's such a lovely thing to say about your partner, to your kid's partner." And then she was like, "Plus, he's hot." Am I allowed to say that? It's like,
So funny.
I was like, "That's my mom on this show.
Yeah. He's hot.
He's hot." Am I allowed to say that? I just loved it. Like I thought that they
Yeah.
were so good together. There's always one couple that, I mean, not always, I guess Denver didn't have any, but I think that they showed this season before the East Coast season because of them, because there was such a success story on it.
Yeah.
So I hope they're together
Yeah.
forever.
I mean, if they don't make it, my feelings will be hurt. Like, really hurt.
They like, they glowed at their wedding.
I know.
They were just
actually,
like,
it felt like a real wedding. Like
100%.
I don't know.
like
It
when I
really
see my
felt like
friends get
I'm
married,
yeah.
like when you see your friends get married and they're like, they're glowing in a different way because they're so excited and so happy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the first time that came across on TV where I was like, oh, they actually have the bride and groom glow about them. Like,
Yeah.
they're so excited.
It was really, really sweet. Yeah, happy for them. I feel like I had more to say about Brittany and Devontae, but really it's just like pure disgust in that whole situation. Like,
We'll be in
it was
touch.
what?
When they leave that conversation and she goes, I think we will get married one day. We're just dating. We're gonna get married and we're gonna have lots of babies eventually. He goes, we'll be in touch.
Oh my god.
I would have murdered him and then sunk his body.
There is no chance in hell that those two are still together. Like, I just like can't
I have
wait
tea
to hear. You have tea? Okay, what's
about
the
him.
tea? Okay.
He was engaged pretty close in timing to the filming.
Okay, of course.
Got engaged to Brittany, not
Yeah.
Ashley. Brittany. They broke up. He got someone pregnant and is now engaged to her.
What?
3 engagements in 2 years.
Oh, and he got someone pregnant, so there we go. That man does not want to be in a relationship.
No. And like, I don't get why people keep giving him the chance.
He's not good looking. What is happening? Like,
He's not good looking. He's not nice. He doesn't seem very
No.
smart. The only thing he did that was smart was bring up the prenup. The conversation about the prenup, how people respond to a prenup, tells me all I need to know about your intelligence.
Yeah.
If you are signing up to get married in a month and you're like, oh, prenup just means we're planning for divorce.
Yeah.
A, it doesn't mean that. And B, you dummy, you should be planning as if you are going to get divorced. You do not know this person. Like,
no, like
you own a lash
seriously.
studio and a condo. Why would you want to get married to someone without protecting your assets that you came into the marriage with?
Oh my God. The conversation they had about finances and like sharing a bank account and the way like they were both just like laughing at each other, like making little digs and laughing at each other, like, we're going to share a bank account. Ha 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 ha. No, we're
Yeah.
not. Ha ha ha.
He's like, don't come to me if you need more fun money. Ha 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 ha.
Oh my God. I was like, can this scene end? I cannot take this anymore.
I know.
It's making me feel so bad.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew there was no way they were still together. I'm sad that another woman is now with Devontae because I really don't think he deserves anyone. Like,
No.
I think he has a lot of growing up and like inner work that he needs to do before he can show up for anyone as a partner.
Yeah.
So that's too bad. But Brittany, it's like I don't even know who Brittany is. I don't think Brittany knows who she is. I think she's so caught up in this vision for herself that she needs to like achieve this marriage title to like be worth anything. It just makes me sad. I'm like, I can feel that there's a lot more to you. And if you would just focus on that for a little while, I think you'll be a lot happier.
Yeah. With Brittany, it's like lights are on and nobody's home. Like,
Right.
like you couldn't be told more times that this man does not want to be with you and was trying to get you to break up with him. And you just look like a fool. Like, and I feel bad to an extent, but I'm also like, you know, this is a person who's a very healthy example of a relationship at home. And like, just wants to rush into having that without actually thinking about what goes into it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it'll just work out. And it's like, that's not real life. And like,
No.
you live in a fantasy world. And until you leave that, you're not going to have a meaningful relationship with anybody.
Yes. Hopefully going on this show, enough people have said that to her by now that it's like gotten through to her.
I hope so.
I would not be surprised if it hasn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she comes in being like, you know, maybe one day me and Devontae will be together. I'm like, oh,
she'll
God.
be on Perfect Match too.
Oh God.
She's just like AD. She reminds me of AD.
I can see that for sure.
And AD did find a man and get married and have a child out of this show, and they're still going
together.
strong as far as I can tell.
He embarrassed the fuck out of her first, so.
Yeah, right. So that's all the couples, right? We
didn't talk about Emma and Mike. All I have to say is stop making women who don't want to have children. Like,
oh my God. I am just like, Mike. Well, okay. Here's where I think Emma could have. I don't think she was as clear about this in the pods as she could have been.
fair.
And I do think Emma's a little bit of like wrong reasons type of girl on this show. Because I'm always suspect of someone who has a clear number one and the number one doesn't work out and they shift to a number two. And
I mean, she fully lied where she said, I just ended things with my second.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, that was shady. And you want to be on this show for a longer time so you can get more followers from it.
Yeah.
And fair. I don't know. Maybe I don't even judge that. I'm just like, well, that's just the world we're living in now. So here we are. But I was like, from that moment on, I was like, she's being disingenuous. And she was not saying flat out, I don't want to have kids in the pods.
Yeah, that's true.
She was saying, I am open to it. And I'm worried about genetic testing, which is something that you can, or passing on genetic things, which you can get tested for.
I just think if I was going on a show to get married, I probably would have come in armed with that information. Like, it's a blood test that you can do at the doctor's office. It's really not that hard. Like,
well, and that's how you know it was more than that. It's not just that. Like, she values her independence. She doesn't want to have children, which is a totally fair decision to make.
Yeah.
Her sister is sitting there saying on TV that she, in another life, would not have children. Oh my God.
I mean, those on the one hand, it's like maybe people should be more honest about if they regret having kids, but maybe do it anonymously so your kids don't know that you feel that way.
Yeah,
Like,
like do it in a therapy session. I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know. Like, I'm sitting there watching with Eden and I'm like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done, but I don't regret it for a single second. Like,
Yes.
to say you wouldn't do it again is just like I would do it a
It
million
was
times over. Like, this
Yeah,
is,
it was like,
yeah,
whoa, okay. And like Emma's sitting there like nodding her head like, yeah, that's how I feel. And
yeah.
Mike's just sitting there like, maybe we have a chance. It's like,
This is
dude,
who she's talking to about having children, Mike. You're screwed. Like,
no. And then Emma at the end, when she's like, after he said no at the altar, she's like, I guess he just wasn't willing to take the chance. It's like, no.
why
Like,
should anyone?
You did eventually say at the end almost clearly that no, it's a no for you on children.
Yeah.
And so he took that information and said no. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could have done it a lot sooner.
Could have done a lot sooner. I think if he's reading between the lines and being honest with himself, it was always a no. Like, and
Right.
like the hesitation around it was so apparent, but he just wanted, everyone wants to be a father because it can be the easiest job in the world. Like, men can just opt out of that, they can just make the kid and then opt out of it.
Right. And they won't receive, I mean, they will receive more shame now than they did like 20, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
But they still can get away with it for sure.
100%. Like, being a bad dad is the easiest job in the entire world. And so I think that a lot of men try to talk women into having children when they don't have to take the physical toll and mental toll of having a baby on.
Right.
And like, it's just never even between the man and the woman. So if the woman is a maybe, just that's a no, my guy. Like, if she's a maybe on taking on this like insane physical challenge and then sleep deprivation for months and months and months, she doesn't want to do it. And that's okay.
No, and I don't even know that Emma was considering all of that, to be honest.
No.
I feel like she was like, because Emma's what, in her early 30s, I want to say?
She's 27.
Oh, okay. She's younger than I thought.
Yeah.
But still old enough, I think, to know, like,
Yeah.
no, this isn't the way my life is going. And, I still just like, I feel like they were both at fault in this situation. I don't think Emma was as honest as she should have been. And truly, like, she could have said no early on, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
Mike was very clear that he wanted children. For all
Yeah,
of his faults, he was very clear about that. And she knew that, like, that wasn't going to change. So she could have cut it off, too.
Yeah. And she didn't.
She didn't. And it was.
I know. That's at the end of every season, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, ugh, I don't know. I will keep watching the show.
Of course.
I think next is probably New England, right?
I hope.
I really want to see that season. I'm sure it's a train wreck.
Oh,
I just know. I have a feeling in my bones.
Over under how many people are going to ask what's your Dunkin' order in the pods? At least we're going to see that 6 times.
Yeah. And you know what? I love it. I'm here for it. I'll take that over Mr. Brightside any day.
Oh God, I know. Same.
Okay. I have like a few minutes, so we may not be able to do a full talk through of the Bachelor Mansion takeover, but maybe we should just like do a pitch for it. Like,
watch it.
Watch it. Like,
watch
Jesse's there. We love Jesse.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Tayshia on my screen in a very long time. And like, I think I don't like her as a person, like, if I really think about it. But she is so fun to like watch on screen. And like, I think she's doing the best job out of all the hosts so far.
Yeah, she's
than Jesse.
She's coming across as like smart about what she's doing, where I think Tyler actually knows more about like construction and home design, but he's so dumb that he's not like, it's not coming across.
His charisma is like out the door. Where did it go?
I don't know. Like, he's almost like he's like neutered. Like, I don't get what happened.
He's like, he seems nervous to me, actually, which is kind of interesting. And then Hannah Brown is like, why do we need to have Hannah Brown on our screens again? I am so done with her.
I'm done with her. Sam M is a further enemy of mine. What's his name? Christopher, the old guy.
The old guy, yeah. The golden.
Built a desk
Yeah.
And you have the audacity to still vote him out. The way that these young people came for the old people, the disrespect is like why everyone hates this generation of people.
Oh my God. Seriously. I mean, the casting is wild. Like when you
Yeah.
think about it, these are some of the strongest, not just strong personalities, but like assholes on the
Yes.
show.
True
Like,
assholes.
like really, like every from Sam M to like Brendan has been a total jerk on this show. Noah was an asshole to Abigail. I'm
Yep.
sorry. I know they're married now and it's all good, but like he was a dick to her on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is on it? What's her name?
Jeremy.
Courtney.
Courtney. I love Courtney, though.
She has really transformed.
Yeah. If you want to watch a season, guys,
Watch that one.
there's a chance that if we have a gap again, like, I think maybe we should cover Ben F's season because, like, what a time.
Wow, that clip they showed of her being like, "How did that feel?"
Yeah.
Reading that, like, how did that go down? Reading
How,
that
how,
date
how did
card.
that feel in your mouth?
She was so ruthless. Like there was nothing likable about her on her season, and like people hated her. And this was what, like 2012, I think.
Yeah.
So it's been 13 years. She has 3 kids now. She's married, and you can tell she has grown up and like reflected on life and like has gone through some shit. Like if you've had 3 kids, you've gone through some shit.
Yeah.
And I still think that part of her is in there somewhere, but she seems like a much more reflective person now, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I do too. I think she's come a long way, and like she was working really hard. Like she was making those bunk beds. Like she was getting it done.
We've got what's her name, whose face is completely different now, Alicia, who's like Joan allying herself with Alicia. Big mistake. Joan, don't
Against
do it.
Jill. Like,
yeah, don't do it.
Alicia is probably one of the least likable people we've had on TV in a long time. And I'm saying that, and Sam M is there. She cannot get out of her own way to just have a good time. Like, you guys are designing a room in the Bachelor mansion. It's not rocket science. You're not curing cancer. Like, just fucking relax for 1 second. Like,
oh my God, like take a break. Like sit down.
be like Dean, who just wanted to paint the ceiling blue.
Dean also historically has been an asshole on the show. Like it is fun seeing these people back on the screen, like with many years behind them, and in a completely different context, like designing rooms. You know?
They got to redesign the bunk rooms this season. It's just so fun. Like it's
so fun.
A preview is Dean had immunity and like kept pushing to paint the ceiling blue. And like if I was on that team, I would be like, guys, Dean's not going to go home. Let's not do his shitty idea. Like,
yeah, he's like, well, I have the golden hammer, so I have immunity. So let's paint the ceiling blue.
Let's paint the ceiling blue with gingham spreads on the bunk beds. Like, it's going to be great. The issue is if they don't address the outside of the mansion, which is truly crumbling, like, what's this all for?
Right. Like, the house is going to fall down.
There's like cracks in the outside of the house that just indicate the fact that there's structural damage to the actual foundation of the house, and they're just ignoring it. Like,
right. It's like, this is a liability.
And I'm kind of curious because they used to rent it from a family, and I'm like, did ABC finally buy it?
I know. It's sort of, actually, I wonder if we'll find out. They must have, right? To be able to do all this
to be able
stuff?
to do this and to be like, this house is a shithole. Like,
yeah. It's so funny. It's just like scenes of them going through the different parts of the house and being like, everything in this room is terrible.
Yeah. Everything in this room is terrible, but we got to work around it.
We got to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I truly have to go. I'm so sorry, but we will continue covering this show because it is delightful.
It's really fun. Watch it.
Yes, and we will talk about the reunion. We may have a second episode this week if we're able to fit it in. Mary's going on a trip next week, so our next full episode will be in 2 weeks, and if we have to wait until then to cover the reunion, we will. But if we're able to get something in sooner, watch your podcast app, watch our
Yep.
Instagram, because we'll let you know.
Yeah.
But otherwise, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. And we'll have TFP next time we have our full episode.
Oh, wow. That is pretty crazy to think
Yeah.
about. TFP's Bachelorette season is landing. So here we go.
Finally.
Strap in, everybody. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Cheers,
Yay.
lovers.
Cheers, lovers. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Can I Steal You for a Minute? Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and if you like the show, please leave a rating and review. Follow us on social media at Can I Steal You for a Minute Pod, and support the show through Patreon at patreon.com/Can I Steal You for a Minute.